Today, I'll help you correctly pronounce 10 very common business English words that are often difficult for students. Hi, I'm your English coach, Christina, and welcome to Speak English with Christina, the best place to become confident speaking business English step by step. If you use English in meetings, conf calls, or just conversations, I'm sure that you've probably already been in this frustrating situation. You say a word that you are sure is the correct word, but the other person doesn't understand the word you're saying. And you repeat it once or twice, and then they say, "Oh, a quote. Yeah, sure, I can send you a quote." And you're like, "That's what I said, a quote." This happens even to the best advanced speakers. But not to worry, because we're going to fix these pronunciation problems right here so that you can feel confident doing your work in English. So that's our first word today there, quote. The correct pronunciation is quote. Now, the mistake that students often make is saying coat, pronouncing the QU as a K sound. But to correctly pronounce it, it's a qu sound, quote. Try that with me, quote. And an example, can you send me a quote for that? Try that. Can you send me a quote for that? Word number 2, figure, figure. Often students make the mistake and say figure, but the correction is putting a Y sound in there, in the middle of that word, like figure, figure. Try to pronounce that with me. Figure, figure. And here's an example. Did you figure out why there was a mistake in the schedule? Try that with me. Did you figure out why there was a mistake in the schedule? Word number 3, determine. Listen to the syllable stress. Determine. The mistake that students often make is saying something like determine. Determine. No. But to correct your pronunciation, you want to put the schwa, weak little sound, on the first and the third syllables, and the stress is on the second syllable. Determine. Determine. Practice that with me. Determine. Determine. For example, we couldn't determine the reason for the problem. Number 4, careful of this one. Focus. Focus and not focus. No. What students often do when they mispronounce this word is to make the first vowel a sound, but you really need to round your lips, focus, to pronounce it correctly. Try it with me. Focus, focus. Like, it's fun to focus on your pronunciation. Don't you agree? Number 5, this word. The correct pronunciation is cooperate, cooperate. And often students make the mistake of pronouncing those 2 O's the same, like cooperate or cooperate or cooperate. They don't make the W sound that is in the middle. So if you listen to it on the second syllable, cooperate, there is a W sound there. Practice that with me. Cooperate, cooperate. For example, if we cooperate, we'll do more faster. Word number 6, identify, identify. Students often make the mistake of putting the syllable stress in the wrong place. They might say something like identify or identify, but in fact, the syllable stress is on the second syllable, identify, and sometimes the T is silent. You can say identify or identify. Both are correct. For example, did you identify any good candidates for the job? Number 7, it's this word. develop, develop. Often students make the mistake of putting the syllable stress on the final syllable, something like develop, develop. No, it's not that. It's develop. The syllable stress is on the second syllable. Practice that with me. Develop, develop. For example, I'm excited about all the new products that we'll develop next year. Number 8, there we go. 8 is, that one's hard. Analysis, analysis. And very often students make the mistake of saying something like analysis, analysis, or analysis. No, you want to put the stress on the second syllable, analysis, and all of the other syllables are short schwa sounds. Analysis. It's the same sound. Practice that one with me. Analysis. Analysis. For example, this analysis is 200 pages. Can you just give me a summary? Number 9, this word. Negotiate. Negotiate. Students often make the mistake of saying negotiate, and they put, the syllable stress in the incorrect place. So, in the word negotiate, the second syllable is stressed, like go, and then she ate, actually. Negotiate. Practice that one with me. Negotiate. And an example, Never Split the Difference is a great book about how to negotiate. And finally, word number 10, it's that one. Now, you see this written a lot, and you may hear it or use it in conversation, but you're not sure how to pronounce it. The correct pronunciation of this little word is etc. or etc. Etc. or etc. Most of the times, students just don't know how to pronounce this thing, so they just abbreviate, or they don't abbreviate, they just don't say it. They write it and abbreviate, but they don't use it in conversations. But often, native speakers also make a mistake in pronouncing it like etc. That is not correct. Don't do that. So, the correct pronunciation is etc. Syllable stress is on the second syllable, etc. or etc. Practice both of those with me. Etc. or etc. And you might hear this at the end of a conversation, like, yeah, blah, 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 and etc., etc. Now, if you want to take the next steps and continue learning with me, subscribe to my channel so that you get all of the future lessons to become more confident in English step by step. And right now, our next lesson is this one right here. It's got some interactive exercises for you to practice your pronunciation with me. Click on that screen and I'll see you there.